Excuse me. Get out of your way, Jane.
Sure. Where they are? Oh, she doesn't, does she?
Sparkly red Gale pen.
Thank you.
Yes. And then the tweezer pen.
Yes. Those are pretty.
There's lots.
Nice.
Everyone needs a sparkly red Gale pen. I have just the thing for you that I still get.
Would you come to my office?
You get past the boss, you give her away from the ball, she said,
I noticed that. Amazing.
you have an arrangement.
I'm glad we got that awful that we used last year, that they had black, just put black curtains up to make it a little room in a corner, and it was dark. The ceiling was black. I like those pens. Awful. Water.
No, you got any more of these?
Oh, yeah, there's a whole huge stack. I think we did 40, so we should be good. Up against Tim Luke, we'll be lucky.
Kid Jackson, you start teaching.
Okay. Well, they're going to come introduce me, I think, so. Row.
Thank you.
I am good.
These were a bag of fruit, because I haven't seen any cinnamon in any of them either. And they're,
I haven't.
you smell cinnamon?
Janelle, do you
Can't
want
hardly find it anymore.
Folks, have a seat if you will. This session's just about to come to fruition, if you will. Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to learn about many ways to earn more money
Many.
with benefit auctions. About 77, 79, somewhere there.
78. Must
78.
have come up with brainstorm.
I've been eating.
And your instructor is Janelle Taylor. I want to tell you all that Lou and I, most of you know my wife Lou, she and I attended Janelle's school. It's a fantastic opportunity to learn, benefit boot camp. And when those sessions come available, make a note, even better, make plans to attend if you're into the benefit auction genre. Janelle is from Tampa, Florida. She works exclusively with charitable fundraising, or she has since 2002. She created a 3-day advanced business building workshop boot camp for benefit auctioneers. She's also an author. She's written 3 books, Build Your Business, Become an Expert, and Coach Consulting. Her mission is to share her vast fundraising knowledge with the auction industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your speaker for this session and my new friend, Janelle Taylor.
Keep your hand, but my hands are full of Gale pens. So, if you're just coming in, grab a handout from the middle table here, and everybody needs a shiny rhinestone Gale pen, so. All right, so I have done this session for the Minnesota State Auctioneers Conference last year in January in 2 hours, and you're getting it in 1. So, just like yesterday when I warned you to be ready, be ready. But the kicker for this one is it's much easier because it's fill in the blank on your handout, and all the answers are going to appear on the screen, and they have the numbers after them for which blank they go in. So, this one's going to be much easier. Let's get started. Did you get a packet? Everybody get a packet? Okay, great. I need you to ignore the packet for a few minutes, okay? Either flip it over or whatever, because we got to do a little setup. 3 reasons to add more benefit auctions to your calendar for 2013. You either need more money, or you want more money. You want to give something back to the community, or you're just tired and you want to change. You're tired of schlepping stuff, you're tired of box lots, you're tired of working so hard. You'd like to replace 3 estate auctions with 3 benefit auctions and make the same amount, all right? 3 reasons to add more benefit auctions: get more money, give it back, or change. There are 1.8 IRS registered nonprofits. There are 1.5 million charitable organizations and 300,000 congregations for a total of 1.8 million. This comes direct from their reported rolls. 100,000 of those have annual revenue of $1 million or more. Where does that $1 million come from? It comes from grants and government programs that they get money. It comes from huge capital campaigns where they're raising $30 million or $3 million or $300,000, and it comes from events that have fundraising auctions, typically as a component. Those millions come from grants, donations, and fundraising events. So think about 100,000 national organizations that have $1 million in revenue coming from grants, donations, and fundraising events. Who in the world is assisting 100,000 organizations with $1 million budgets? Who's doing those events? How many benefit auctioneers can you name? Right now, if I had you take out an empty list, empty sheet of paper, and write them down in 5 minutes, how many could you name? Aristotle's probably got a good handle, Emily's probably got a good handle, but how many, give me a number.
70.
Okay.
8.
Emily thinks 8, okay. Who else? Okay,
Sorry,
how many of those are full-time? How many full-time fundraising auctioneers are there in the whole country that you can name?
38.
Not even. Not even. Maybe 30, 35?
Really?
Okay. Full-time and that's all they do?
And make a living at it.
That's what but I mean, yeah, but even if they're just, even if they're, think of it this way, Sammy, even if they're not making a living at it, they're trying to serve those clients, but $100,000 million revenue nonprofits with fewer than 100 people that we could name if we tried. Okay, yes, millions of other auctioneers, not millions, thousands, do some. They do 3, they do 5, they do 7, they do 10. But the combined number of annual events that all those folks can possibly do is nowhere near 100,000. And if the 100,000 have $1 million plus, then how many more turn 750,000 in annual revenue? $500,000 in annual revenue, $250,000. Any group that's doing $250,000, any nonprofit in charitable revenue is still doing events. They're doing a bowl-a-thon, fun run, gala of some kind. 200,000 national events, 300,000. The potential is ridiculous. I'm in Florida. There's 116,000 nonprofits in Florida. There are 7,000 nonprofits within 30 miles of my house. 7,000. So if anybody tells you there aren't any clients out there and it's too crowded and you shouldn't share information, that's not true.
There's 44,000 registered in the state of Colorado.
44,000 in Colorado. And how many in Denver? I think there's 7,000. More than that? Okay, in the greater Denver area. Now, they're not all viable. 7,000 are not having good events, but 10% would be 700, and 1% would be 70. Okay, most of you want to add 3, 10, 15. Even if you want to make a career on 50, still, they're out there. So, what's in it for me? Time to pull out that packet. Flip your packet over, let's get started. Oh, you do know that that's what the WIIFM is, right? What's in it for me? Acronym, sorry. What's in it for me? I went by that kind of fast. All right, so what's the income potential if you add more benefit auctions? If you take 10 and you're getting paid $500, then your income that you added is 10 events at 500 apiece is 5,000. Sorry, you need more coffee. If you add 10 events, but you were able to be paid $2,000, you would have added $20,000. Now, you might not start out charging $2,000, but if you go through a class or you do some work and you learn how to do that, you can. If you were able to charge $4,000, you'd make $40,000 on just 10 events. Let's say that you want to wipe your slate clean. This year, I'm going to be a benefit auctioneer full-time. I'm going to do 30 events. I'm going to find a way to make a combined income from each of $3,000, and that is a $90,000 income for 30 events. It's not that unrealistic, folks. Lots of people do it. And if you were to be crazy like Gary Corbett, and he makes much more than $2,500, I believe, so I'm just saying if you were to do 80 events at whatever level, that's math I can't even do off the top of my head. It's a lot of money.
200,000.
So if you want to add 3 events or 5 events or 6 events or 20, the events are out there. So what total percentage of the auctions that you currently do are benefit auctions? Do you do 1 out of 10 a year, 10%, or 3 out of 50 a year and it's less than 10%? Okay, anybody can do that math? What percentage of your total auction calendar is actually fundraising auctions? Aristotle?
Mine went from doing real estate, now it's almost 98%.
Okay, so almost everything is benefit and then you do some real estate?
Yeah, just
Okay.
1 or 2 deals that fall my way that I
Cool.
don't have to do.
Right.
Very hard.
Yeah, but you don't have to do a whole lot. Okay, who else has got a split?
Ours is probably 10.
Okay, so like you do 50 and maybe 5 of them will be benefit, or you do
Yeah.
100 and maybe 10 are benefit or something. Okay, anybody else? Percentage?
We went from about 1% to about 10.
Okay, so 10%. What percentage of the time are they taking up? And is the time that you're putting into those benefits equaling the percentage of income that you're getting? Because one of the slippery slopes that people get into is they think, I'm gonna start doing benefit auctions, but you either don't have the skills or the confidence to charge or to deserve to be paid a significant amount for benefits. So you're now putting in 10, 20, 30 hours staff time, travel time into a benefit auction and getting $800, $1,200, when if you put that same hourly time into the next real estate deal, the next estate deal, you would have actually made more per hour.
Yep.
So don't make the mistake of, you gotta think strategically, this is what I'm all about, is strategic business planning, that the percentage of the time that you're putting into these is still equal to the income you're trying to replace, or better than. Make sense? Part 1, earning more. So this is about ways to earn more from benefit auctions. The first part is about charging or collecting more. Part 2 is about deserving more, okay? So charging or collecting more. Your blanks at the top of the page say, you need to spend less time. If benefit auctions are taking too much of your time, then for the income they are producing, you have 4 options. You can either spend less time on each benefit auction, or you set limits to your in-person consultation. So the line 1 should actually say in-person consultation, just fill it in on blank 1. Sir, do you have a handout? Let me get you some extras, there's more. Make sure everybody's got a handout.
Oh, there's one here.
Okay, good. So the first one is in-person consultation, line 1. It probably should say consultation up there. Or set limits to your remote, which is your phone or email consultation. So we're on the first line where it has a 1 and a 2 after it. That's the answer for line 1, that's the answer for line 2. Does that make sense?
Can we give like $5 when we got one?
Line 1, line 2. It's at the end,
Wait,
sorry.
She's gonna get you to think outside of the box.
Okay, so my point is,
Red card up door down.
if you find yourself that you're spending too much time for the income that you're earning from them, you have got to spend less time on each benefit auction. That's one of your options. You could limit your in-person consultation from going to every meeting or attending as many as possible to 1 in-person per month, or up to 3 in-person hours total for however long you have this relationship with them, okay? Or you could limit your remote or your email consultation. Have you ever run across a client who's a time vampire? Okay, so the only way you can actually stop that process is to be proactive. If in the middle of a client relationship you say, you're calling too much, I can't handle all these emails, that's not gonna feel like over-deliver. That's gonna feel like you're not meeting your obligation. But if in your marketing it says you have email consultation between office hours of 8 and 5, or you have up to 2 hours a month of remote consultation, whether email or phone or whatever, then you limit how many hours could be sucked away into that client. And here's another reason I want to tell you this. Many auctioneers who don't do this as a career will take new or startup or first-time events, which require exponentially more help than the established ones. So you could earn less because they don't have the infrastructure and yet suck more and more of your time away. So my point is, if you need to limit how much time you spend on each benefit auction, your first option is limit your in-person time or limit your remote consultation time, okay? Lines 1 and 2. Now, another option for you would be to create a faster or more self-sustaining system. If you could systemize what you deliver to your benefit auction clients, you would spend less time recreating the wheel each time, okay? So you can use what's called a contact resource management program. You can get some for free. One is called, so CRM is Customer Resource Management or Contact Resource Management. And one of them is called Zoho.com, Z-O-H-O. This is just a free program that you can use to track the nonprofits you're talking to, the clients, your conversations with them, if you've sent them emails, the kind of process of how to keep you organized, okay? You can organize yourself by creating an in-office system. Okay, Sally's always going to be the benefit go-to person, and she's going to have a checklist of what she makes sure that they're taking care of each time. We're going to create a pre-qualification questionnaire, so we find out if they're even ready to actually have an event. Do they have the minimum requirements? We're going to organize ourselves, which is line 4. Or if you want something more structured that you don't have to create, one of the things I did as a teacher was to create a workbook system for you, for auctioneers, and I'll just flash it and you can read about it later if you want. But I created a teacher's edition for consultation called Coach, and I created a student edition, or a charity edition, which is a book called Auction, and all the answers that you possibly need for things are in that teacher's edition, student edition set, and you just assign them things to do. Tell me who your committees are, fill in these work pages, these pages on page 6 to 13. We have to make a meeting schedule for upcoming meetings. You'll see that on page 43, so let's fill that out and discuss it on our next phone call. We're going to need to know how we're going to organize your silent auction items, so there's directions on how to do that with some options in chapter 4. Let's talk about that at our call next week. Okay, but all that's in there. You don't have to read it. You don't have to know anything about it. It's super user-friendly. So in some way, to limit how much time that you're spending with each client, find a way to either organize your clients, organize yourself, or get some kind of system that will make consultation more structured, and you can stop recreating the wheel for each client, okay? Let's see. You could earn more, so let me show you this little box that's highlighted here. It says there's a $1,000 solution. I like to show you real ways you can make money. If you could streamline just 2 hours a week in staff time away from duplicate consultation, that would save you $1,000 in the hourly time that you're saving from that staff person. Okay. Now, you can earn more from each auction. So if you decide that one of the ways you want to make more money is just to earn more from each auction, I'm going to give you a whole bunch of ways to do that. But you could also refer auctions to someone else. Because I know you kind of feel obligated, like they called me, we should do the auction. But if the time and the hours required is not going to, it's going to suck away from the hours you need to do your revenue generating business in collectibles or in, you know, your regular auctions or real estate, pursuing a new client, whatever, you can always refer them to someone else, whether that's for a referral fee, goodwill, or whatever, okay? And you have 4 options, like I said. If benefit auctions are taking up too much time, you can limit yourself, earn more, which we're going to go into in detail, refer them out, or do nothing and stay stuck in the same spot where you are, okay? So let's move on from there. You should be at the shaded part where it says, how are you currently paid for benefit auctions? If you answered, I'm not, but I'd like to start charging, we've got a 3-step solution. You learn what services clients value and are willing to pay for. If you were in my session yesterday, that's exactly what we did. We focused on what does the client care about? What are their fears, their needs, their desires, their annoyances? What does the client care about and what are they willing to pay for? B, you could explain in writing why your company is the best value for those services. Also what we did yesterday. We talked about magic marketing words, how to sell yourself, we're the best because, all of those things. And if you missed that session and you need that information, let me know. Or you can give them options for payment. I bet most of you, when you do a benefit auction, say, we charge X. Well, the problem that I have with anyone who says we get paid in one way is that their only answer is yes or no. If you give them 2 ways that you get paid, then their answer is either or. But if you give them 3 ways that your company gets compensation, you can choose A or B or C. Doesn't matter to us. Choose which one suits you best. Then you can kind of wipe your hands and let it go. They're either going to find a spot that they can agree with, or they're simply not that serious about working with you. You just say, you can compensate us for benefit auctions by A, B, or C. Choose one. When you put down a deposit to save your date, we'll get started. If they don't want to do that, they're not real serious. And you can give them a no-cost option, such as buyer's premium for charity, paying for yourself by bringing in auction items. When we do the boot camp class, we go through 29 ways to get paid as a benefit auctioneer or to be compensated. And we look at which ones suit Emily versus Joe versus Sissy versus Aristotle or someone else. Okay? All right, that gets us to the end of the first page. Everybody with me so far? All right, page 2. How are you currently paid for benefit auctions? If you answered I'm paid by a flat fee, then if you're going to earn more, you either have to bring in more income or bring in more auctions. Those are your only options. So at the top of the next page, your answers are bring in more income or bring in more auctions. If you get paid on a flat fee, if you're going to earn more, now, next we got to talk about 2 ways that you could bring in more income. You either raise your flat fee that you're charging, or you start collecting a fee on more aspects of the event. So, 2 ways to bring in more income is raising your flat fee or collecting the flat fee on more areas of the event. So maybe currently you've been paid a flat fee just for the stage live auction services. Maybe you're going to add a flat fee for silent auction consultation, or add a flat fee for preparing their PowerPoint and their audiovisual, or add a flat fee for providing a sound system, professional sound system that you're going to invest in once, or add a flat fee for providing the display materials, the signage, the plexi stands, the whatever, because you could buy them and rent them out 10 times in a year instead of every charity you deal with having to make that investment and it sits in the closet for 363 days. Okay? So you could charge a flat fee on more parts of the event for fund and need if you see that you would like to do that. Or you just have to raise your flat fee because that's the only way you earn more. Okay? If you go to the next one, 4 ways to raise your flat fee. How many people would like to raise their flat fee? Anybody? Okay, so here's 4 ways you can do it. One is just do it. Just do it. It's 2013. Those who you lose, probably couldn't afford to grow with you anyway. Okay, you tell them, I've just recently done some additional fundraising education. We're revamping our company and our outlook a bit and structuring differently for 2013. Our 2013 rates are going to be this. Just do it. B, alert for next year. You could talk to whoever you've worked with this year and explain that you have raised your rates, but that this year's contract explicitly states that next year it will be this. Okay, if that makes you more comfortable. C, you could honor anybody that's currently signed, but for anybody who's not currently re-signed, give them 30 days to get on board with you at last year's rates, or they're getting this year's rates. That's C. And D is what I just explained. Say, we're upgrading, we're improving. You could invest in a $9.99 new domain name. So instead of doing benefit auctions under, let's say, Gilliam and Hayes as their auction company, they buy a domain name that is specifically about benefit auctions, whether that's daxknowsbenefits.com or whatever it is, all right? And then they say, we've rebranded, we've upgraded, we've started a whole new division of benefit auction services, and these are the rates for this division. Okay? You just tell them you've upgraded and improved, and that's how you raise your flat fee. Make sense? You just do it. Next, you should see a shaded line that says 10 ways to collect a flat fee on more aspects of the event. So we said if you get paid on flat fee, you either got to raise your flat fee or you've got to collect in more aspects of the event. So that's the paragraph at the bottom. First of all, you could charge for silent auction services, so fill that in. You could charge for MC duties, master of ceremonies, introducing everyone on and off the stage, being the show master. You could charge for what we call the paddle raise, cash call. I don't care what you call this. Some of y'all call it what? Special appeal, donation appeal. There's about 15 names. You could charge for that, percentage or base rate, or not. Some people choose not to charge for it as a value-added service. See if I can get it to click forward. You could charge for consultation by the hour, or a consultation package. That should be your next line, 17. Charge for add-ons like a kickoff party. You know, we believe that we want you to have the best auction items, so we're going to help you to do a hosted kickoff brainstorming party. And if you don't know how to do that, you can look online, you can look in one of my resources, you can ask someone, but you know, you can guide them through realizing somebody knows somebody who has something worth donating, and help them come up with $10,000, $20,000 worth of ideas in the span of an hour and a half. That's definitely a service you could charge for if you get paid on a flat fee. You could charge for copywriting or paperwork, you know, creating their bid sheets, creating their displays, creating their flyers or their invitation or all of that. Usually they either pay for that through a printing company or they outsource it and get it underwritten. So if you added that as part of your service, it would be a way to earn more per auction. Okay?
Also a good way to make sure that they have the right material.
Yes, that it's approved by you,
Yes.
that they are sufficient, that bid sheets actually have restrictions and expiration dates on them instead of just Hawaii trip. And people are supposed to know why they should bid on that, okay? You could charge for online auctions. You could charge for technology or computers provided. You could charge for cashiering or other manpower. Or you could charge for supplies. So if you feel comfortable getting paid on a flat rate, either A, raise your flat rate in one of those 4 ways, B, add areas that you earn a flat rate on, or both. Just by investing in being here for these 2 days, you've invested in continuing fundraising education. So, things have changed. All right, go to the next page. How are you currently paid for benefit auctions? If you answered, I get paid on an incentive, like a percentage of proceeds or something, such as buyer's premium, a bonus structure, percentage, you have 4 ways to earn more if you're paid on a percentage. 1, you can charge a higher percentage, or incentive rates. And by incentive rates, I mean, our base rate is $500, but if the auction hits $20,000, we earn plus this amount, or this percentage. If the auction hits $30,000, we get plus this amount, so they're incentive bonuses. Okay, so you either have to raise your percentage, your higher percentage, number 24, or higher incentive rates, bigger bonus structure. If you prefer this percentage way of getting paid, you could charge on more aspects of the event, more parts, more aspects. So maybe you've only been charging for your live auction services, and you're now going to get a percentage of silent auction services. If you do that, make sure you are delivering silent auction value beyond just announcing the closings. You're going to have to do something more. You're going to have to show them why you deserve to earn a percentage of that as well. It might be helping them to take their whole list of 200 and sort and package and price and categorize and, you know, all of that. That would be a valuable service. It might be that it's the paperwork you do. It might be that you train their volunteers for silent auction so they're more effective and proactive in selling. But you're going to have some silent auction services if you think you're going to get paid, or if you think they're going to accept and like and not have an issue with you getting paid on silent auction. Y'all know Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if I told you this one yesterday in class. I'm a huge fan. He has this fantastic thing called the Success Principles. If you don't already have that, you can get it on audio through Amazon. Jack Canfield, the Success Principles. And one of the things he talks about is you can charge anything you want for any service, so long as you deliver 3 to 10 times in value for the compensation you receive. So as long as you are over-delivering in value, you can charge whatever you want. David Copperfield, the magician, has a Las Vegas show of his own, and he owns a Bahama island, the whole island, with the largest private resort in the world. If you want David Copperfield to come to your black tie event and do a half-an-hour magic show, what can he charge? Anything he wants, okay? Because he's David Copperfield, and the audience is going to expect that, wow, we get to have a personal showing with David Copperfield. The perceived value is huge, okay? So what you charge, you always have to keep in mind, can you over-deliver? It's what I told you yesterday about you want those raving fans, you want the tribe that supports you, okay? C, you might have to upgrade your client. The thing about getting paid on a percentage is if their auction is a $7,000 auction, then just for the sake of easy math, we'll say that it was 10%, so your company earned $700. That barely pays for your gas and your transportation and your staffing for that night. So you might have to upgrade your client to one that does $37,000, and that percentage now actually pays for something more than just your staffing. Okay, you might have to think about upgrading your client. Only choose clients with a history of